Well, it's a nice drive back home, even though it's a long one because I didn't do too well today. I got knocked out. Jeff moved down just a little bit, and there was a more hollow peak where he was at, and just found some good waves. I couldn't find any lips in my heat. I thought I was surfing all right, but just couldn't find the waves. So that's how it goes sometimes. There's a couple interesting things happening today. Omri Laverne beat Yuri Valadao from Brazil, which I thought was a pretty big feat because Yuri is such a good small wave surfer. He's actually phenomenal in small waves. So yeah, that was kind of a highlight. Yuri got like a 7.5 for doing a pretty big, huge air ARS, and almost had Omri comboed. But then Omri came back strong with good combinations and his arse of his own, and actually ended up winning the heat, which in these smaller ways I thought that was a pretty huge accomplishment. I got comboed by Jeff until the last few minutes, and then I got out of combo and I needed an 8 and just couldn't find it. There was just no waves. So actually right after my heat ended, there was a right that I could have got the score on. It was pretty sick round. And then Ben got comboed by Manuel, which I thought was pretty different because Ben's really good in all conditions, and Manuel actually beat him, which was pretty surprising. But he was surfing well. And then yeah, Omri that much closer to a world title now, and was basically in tears coming out of the water, which was pretty cool to see. So I'm sure that was probably a pretty big heat for him. He needed to win there, I think, secure things. So he's well on his way. I think there's a heat tomorrow between Winnie and Omri, which should be pretty good. That's kind of titles up for grabs right there. I think Winnie is one of the few people that can actually chase Omri. I think it might be tight, but I think he can chase him. Anyway, it's a nice drive over here. One consolidation for losing the drive home is actually pretty, even though it's a long one. There's a couple more results. Dave Winchester took out Uri, and Uri is surfing really good. He's kind of in form over here. He got second in Sopolana and was surfing well in this heat as well. And then Winnie just like got one wave and just comboed the heck out of it. Did one pretty big arse right back into a roll with a quick spins in all of a very short space, and got awarded a 8 something, very high score. Let's see, I didn't see some of these later heats, but this is a pretty heavy result right here. Dave Hubbard taking out Pierre. Pierre was in title contention and really needed a good result here to kind of keep his title bids alive, and I'm not too sure if he's out completely or not. And this is a pretty cool heat as well. Lucas Nogueira from Brazil beating Hugo Pinheiro, who Hugo beat GT and Novi yesterday. And Lucas, as I mentioned yesterday, he basically took a board out from the wrapper that morning. It was a Mark McCarthy science model, and he just like went out there and started dominating. And looks like he's surfing really good. He's posted, just along with the highest scores in this whole round, along with Manuel and Jeff in my heat. So yeah, it's going to be some pretty good action tomorrow. And also Dave Hubbard's been in pretty good form. He did really well at Sopolana. He got a 3rd, and he knows how to grovel too. So tomorrow should be a pretty exciting day. So I think at this point, the heat tomorrow, I guess, between Winnie and Omri is going to be pretty exciting. That's going to be pretty much a world title heat right there.